So let's get started in our child's pose, reaching our fingertips forward, dropping our forehead to the mat, and then maybe doing a rock from side to side with your body pressing onto your right leg and then onto your left leg. So you reach your fingertips to the top of the mat. And just take a deep breath in here. You can bring your knees a little bit further apart if you wish. Also, you can come up onto your fingertips, lifting your arms a little bit higher as well. Drop your head. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Nice and slow, just letting go of the day or the morning. Deep breath in. Reminding yourself that this is a time for you, a time for healing. It's going to make your day or night or sleep so much better. And relax. Good, and then slowly roll up onto your knees, bringing both arms all the way up to the ceiling. Give yourself a nice stretch. Now we're just bringing our fingertips to the top and expanding our chest. Good, and then dropping the right hand down, bring the left arm forward and twisting your body. So looking over your right shoulder. Deep breath in. And then both arms go up, dropping the right arm forward, left arm back. Just twisting at the waist. Good. And then coming up, dropping your hands down and come into a crisscross position. Sitting up nice and tall. Place your hands up into receiving mode and just drop your chin down, relaxing your shoulders, rolling your head from side to side. Keep breathing. Inhale, drop your head, roll slowly, exhale. Inhale, remember still keeping your spine grounded. Good, lifting up, lifting up. Try not to roll your shoulders. Good. Right arm goes up and over for a side stretch. So you could start by reaching the arm all the way up and then reach to the side. Take a big breath in, expanding your chest here. Exhale. Good, and then slowly come on up and switch sides. Right arm goes up to the sky. See how this feels first as you open up your chest, open up your heart, and then carry your arms slowly over a little bit further to the side. Over our head. Reach, reach, reach. Good, and then slowly come up, rolling the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Getting ready for this feel-good practice. We're going to reach both of our hands over towards our left leg. Just let your body melt over on that left leg. Good. Really, really doing like a twist as our body falls on towards maybe your chin or forehead is touching onto your left knee. Good, and then floating yourself up. And let's switch sides. Bringing both hands over towards the right side, dropping yourself down. So you're feeling a really nice stretch on your lower back. Reach, reach, reach. Also good for your shoulders. Getting ready to do those downward facing dogs. Deep breath in and out. We're going to hold all the poses a little bit more so we get that deep stretch. Come all the way back up, bringing both arms down to your mat, reaching them up. Deep breath in. And then slowly lower and rise and lower. Good. Come forward into your tabletop position. So you can come through into your tabletop position and big circles with the body. Such a great way to warm up your hips. One way and back. Good. Into some cat-cow, curving the spine. And then dropping the belly, look up. Deep breath in. Good, hips go high, tuck the chin in, rounding the back, pushing your fingertips into the mat. Good, one more time. Look up, drop the belly, and then navel to spine, arching the back, curving the spine. Drop your head. Good, and then come up onto your toes and sit on to your ankles. Just take a minute here. We're warming up the feet. Take a deep breath in. Can be a little bit rough on people's feet. We're so used to being in shoes all the time, which if you want to feel some really good benefits, I recommend getting outside without shoes for some grounding at least once a day. Come up onto your knees. Take a deep breath in, dropping your hands down, placing them on your lower back, and then pushing your hips forward. Our shoulders roll back, our chin is lifted slightly. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Good. Come back into your tabletop position, extending your right leg out, toes pointed down. Start to fire up the glutes a little bit, and then lifting the left arm all the way up, palm facing inwards, lift, lift, lift. Good, and then right leg goes out to the side, and left arm goes into cactus. And then bring it in together. Try that again. Left leg goes out to the side, and left arm goes out into cactus. Back up to center, lower the hand, lower the knee. Left leg goes out, toes pointed down. Get your positioning, and then right arm goes up over your head, palm facing in, lifting up, isolating the left glute. It's so good for your back. And then right arm goes out to cactus, left leg goes out to the side. And then bring it back to center, leg out, arm out, back to center. Good, leg out, arm out, back to center. Dropping the hand, dropping the knee, sit back into your wide-legged child's pose this time. So knees go wide. Take a deep breath in. Really feeling this in our hips. And then again, you can come up onto your fingertips, lifting your hands a little bit higher, and you can also do a little movement from side to side. Good. Press back up into your tabletop position. Come onto your toes into your downward facing dog. 3 long breaths here. Now, if you are dealing with any sort of stress, you can take a deep breath in through the nose and a slow, long exhale through the mouth. It's a really good way to start calming down your nervous system naturally. Do a little bend in your elbows. Let your heels be heavy. Relax your head. Another deep breath in. This can feel so good. Good, and then dropping your knees and just hover here. So we're dropping our knees and we're just letting them sort of hover a couple inches off of the mat as we tighten the core. So while you're doing this, you're squeezing your lower belly in, almost like somebody's giving you a little punch. Flex, flex, flex. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Nice. And then lower the knees. Release the toes. Come back up onto your knees and step your left foot forward. So we're coming into our low lunge, and we're just going to come a little bit forward, and then we're going to come back into our half split. So do this nice and slow. Bending the front knee. You can keep your hands down on the mat if you want to. So you're reaching forward, chest forward, but really try not to bring that knee too far over your ankle. A little bit is not a big deal. And back, half split. Forward, low lunge. Back to half split. Forward to low lunge. hold this low lunge just for a moment. See if you could bring both hands up on the left knee. And breathe. Good. Now this is a really good stretch. If you're as far as I am forward, you might want to come up a little bit more so your weight is on your knee. And then you're going to try to grab on to your right foot and pull it in. Takes a little bit of balance as well, but we're opening up the shoulder, really stretching, nice quad stretch over on the right side. Whoop. Might teeter a little bit. Good. Hold. Shouldn't be painful. And then slowly release. And then bringing the left foot back and have a moment in your child's pose, rocking from side to side, taking a deep breath in. Good, come back up onto your knees and stepping your right foot forward this time. So we're going into our low lunge, our back knee is on the mat. We're bringing our heart forward, feeling just starting to warm up, opening up the hips. And then walk back, half split, right toes are to the ceiling, and then forward and back, just rocking gently. Just starting to increase the flexibility slowly and movement, getting the joints lubricated. Lift. And then dropping the foot down, sink into your low lunge. Place both hands on the right knee and lift your chest up and hold. Take a little breath here. And then come back a little bit as you go and grab the left foot, the top of the left foot. And then sink down a little bit deeper and your back leg will automatically start to come in closer. Whoop. Good, get your balance. Chin up. Good, and then slowly lower. And then swinging the right foot back, open up wide-legged child's pose. Exhale. Bring both hands over towards the right side for a stretch on the left side. Deep breath in. Feeling this in your arms and your shoulders. And then bring your hands to center and over towards the left side. Really reaching for the top part of your left mat. Always taking the deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful. Good. Bring your hands to center, back onto your knees, flip your toes, downward facing dog. Walking out your downward dog. Hips are high. Keep breathing. Shoulders away from your ears, so shoulders relaxed, little bend in the elbows. Good, and then bend your knees slightly, walking your hands towards your feet. Come into your forward fold, grabbing onto your elbows, and just letting gravity do the work here. You can have a little bend in your knees, and then you could do a little sway from side to side in ragdoll. Make this feel good. Maybe feeling a sensation or a desire to pull your arms down towards the mat. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. You can even do like a little tiny bounce as you try to bring your body closer to your legs. Remembering always to bend at the hip creases. Really trying to keep a flat back if possible. Good. Place both hands down on the mat. Give your head a little bit of a shake. And then walking your hands forward into your high plank position. Holding your high plank, squeezing in your glutes. Take a breath in. Good. Have your feet a little bit wider on the mat. We're going to drop both ankles over towards the left side, picking up the right arm. Good. For a side plank variation, lifting your hips high. Take a deep breath in, open up the chest, and then lowering the right hand, come back into your high plank. Have your come up on your toes and then dropping both ankles over towards the right side, bringing your left arm up. Hips are high. Take a breath in. Good. And then lower the left hand down, drop onto your knees, and then release, lowering your body all the way down to the mat. We're going to come into like an intimidation cobra. So upper arms are a little bit wider, our elbows are up, and we're going to lift ourselves up, starting to warm up our lower back and roll down. Lift up and down. Lift up and down. Keep your toes pointed, pushing your hips into the mat, and up and down. Good. Come up into your Sphinx position. We're just going to hold, pushing our hands in towards the mat, shoulders are down. Look up, take a moment, pushing your toes, your legs, all pushed into the mat, lifting your lower belly. Relaxing your shoulders. Take a moment here. Breathe. Good. And then bring your hands a little bit closer to your body as you push up to your upward facing dog. So now our hips are a little bit coming up off the mat. Good, and then coming up to your downward facing dog, nice and slowly here. 2 long breaths here. Deep breath in and out. Good. Lift the heels, bend the knees, do a little jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, bringing your palms all the way up onto your shins, roll your shoulders. And exhale, forward fold. Feeling your body start to warm up. Maybe your joints, muscles feel a little bit looser. Good. Bending the knees, rise to stand, reach up. Deep breath in. Hands to heart center. Relax in mountain. Deep breath in. And out. Good. We're going to step back into our warrior one. So right leg steps back. Arms go up. Deep breath in, bending the front knee, back leg is straight. Hold. Bend a little bit more if you can. Lift a little bit more. Good. And then open up warrior 2. Bending the front knee, making sure the knee is out. Relax your shoulders. Keeping your gaze over that hand. Good. Let's reverse our warrior by dropping our back hand, flipping our front palm, reaching back, doing a nice stretch. And then right into our extended side angle. Elbow to knee, arm goes up to the sky. Another breath here. Bend a little bit deeper. Good, and then slowly come back up into your warrior 2, and then we're going to bring our whole body to the top of the mat. And we're going to sink right into our chair pose. So just like we're sitting in a chair, let's bring our hands to our heart center, tucking in the pelvis, sitting down deep, keeping our weight on our heels, shoulders back. Good, and then down into our forward fold. Drop your head. Deep breath in. And out. Good. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up, look up. And then hands to heart center. Take a second in your mountain pose. Deep breath in, getting ready for the left side, warrior one. Picking up the left foot, stepping it back, warrior one. Bending the front knee, arms go all the way up. Bending the front knee, back leg is straight. Hold. Beautiful. Open up warrior two. Bending forward. Deep breath in. Front knee is being pushed out. Opening up the hips. And then dropping the back hand, flipping the front palm for your reverse warrior or peaceful warrior, whatever you want to call it. Reaching back. And then forward into our extended side angle, elbow to knee. Reaching your arm high, really opening up the shoulders and the chest. Keeping your head forward, just looking straight. Bend the knee, the front knee a little bit more. It's always good to challenge yourself as you hold in these poses. Good. And then come back up into your warrior two. And then we're going to bring both feet forward and sit right back into your chair pose. You can also try to bring your arms out into cactus. Bend the knees a little bit more here. Tilt the pelvis in. Arms go out. Good. And then floating your hands all the way down to the mat. Forward fold here. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring our hands underneath our feet for our gorilla pose. So bending the knees slightly. And we're stepping on our hands, palms of our hands, pulling our body in towards our knees, to our legs, bending at the hip creases, so no rounding or avoid rounding of the back. Good. And then placing your hands down onto the mat, bend the knees, step back into your high plank position. And then hips go high, downward facing dog. Good. And then we're going to lift our right leg all the way up to the sky, three-legged dog. And then bend the right knee, opening up the hip here. So try to lift the knee nice and high. Good. And then letting the heel be heavy, both heels. We want one heel on the ground or close to it. And just be mindful that your shoulders are square, that you're not leaning too far towards the side wall. Good. And then lower the right leg down. Bringing the left leg up, three-legged dog. And then opening up the hip as you bend the left knee. Lift, lift, lift. Good, and then lower the left leg down. Come into your high plank position. Drop onto your knees, and then float yourself down. You could do knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Good. Lift the heels, bend the knees, do a little jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up. Good. Lower our hands just for a moment. We're going to bring them right back up for a crescent lunge, bringing our right foot up. Step it back, big crescent lunge. So now we have our hips square. Bending the front knee, straightening the back leg. Lift up, hold. Good, and then open up warrior two. A little bit of an easier transition. Bending the front knee, flipping both palms, reach up, look up, take a deep breath in as you extend the front leg, and then lower down. And then open both palms, reach up, look up, straightening the front knee. Lower down, warrior two. One more time, flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Keep that front leg straight, dropping your hands down, pivot the foot forward, and come into your wide-legged forward fold. Now lots of variations here. You can do a little bend in your knees, feeling your hips a little bit wider. You can drop your head. Or maybe if you're not there yet, then you can bring your fingertips to the top and you have a flat back. But try to keep your weight a little bit forward instead of reaching back. Just enjoy the stretch here wherever you're at. You can also grab onto your feet or your ankles. Pull yourself in. Be playful with this one. Nice, and then bending the knees, come up and heel toe your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart as we bring our hands forward, lifting up our toes, and we're coming into our pyramid pose. So both toes are now pointed towards the top of the mat. We're just going to melt into this beautiful hamstring stretch just for a moment. Now that our body's all warmed up, try to keep your hips square with this one as well. You might need blocks if you're too far away from the mat. Good, and then pick up the back heel and then bring your right foot to meet your left foot, top of the mat, forward fold. Bend your knees, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Then hands to heart center, relax in your mountain. Deep breath in. And then left leg gets picked up, step it back into our crescent lunge. Arms go up. Back heel is lifted, hips are squared, our pelvis is tilted as well. Lift, lift, lift. Bend the front knee. Good, and then open up warrior two. Hold. Good, flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Take a deep breath in as you straighten the front leg. Lower down warrior two. Flipping both palms, reach up, look up, deep breath in. Lower down warrior two. One more time, flipping both palms, reach up, look up, deep breath in. And then as you lower your hands, let's do a bind, grabbing on to each hand, straightening the elbows, and then go down into your wide-legged fold, trying to bring your arms all the way up. So you can try to get them over your head. Good, and then slowly release your hands all the way down to the mat. You're gonna take your right hand and grab onto your left ankle, and then bring opposite arm up over your head. And then lower down, switch sides. One day I will buy two cameras so I don't have this, this view towards you, but it's important for you to see all the positioning. Lower down, come up onto your fingertips, heel toe, your feet a little bit closer together, lifting up your toes to the top of the mat into your pyramid pose. Take a breath in and out. Everything's a journey. Everything's a transition. If you would have told me that I would be doing yoga at the age of 47, I would think that you're crazy. So you never know what the universe is going to bring you. Just always kind of trust that it's hopefully for the best. All right, let's pick up the back foot, bring it to meet the front at the top of the mat, forward fold, halfway lift. Let's flow it out. Dropping your hands down, bend your knees, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Hands to heart center, floating your hands all the way down to the mat. Bending the knees, step back into your high plank position, hold, squeeze, 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 and then on your knees or toes, chaturanga down. Upward dog or cobra to downward facing dog. We're going to do another 3 long breaths here. You can always go into child's pose if you need to relax a little bit more. Start to relax your breath. Good. And then bending your knees. Everybody comes into child's pose now. Reaching your hands to the top of the mat. Taking a moment here to see how your body is feeling. Maybe you notice a calmness in your mind. Good. And then we're going to slowly roll ourselves up. Come seated over towards one side. And then bringing your feet to the top of your mat. And we're going to come into our Baddha Konasana, but we're going to bring our feet a little bit closer to the top of the mat. So we want a really big triangle here, a big opening, a big space. And then we're going to melt down towards our feet. Let both knees fall over to one side. Good. Again, maybe a little sway from side to side. And then slowly come up and then see how it feels pulling your knees or your feet a little bit closer to your body. So you could bring it here, or you can even see if you could bring your ankles to touch your legs or your inner thighs. Do a little bounce. Enjoy the sensation. Maybe bending, having your left ear go to your right shoulder. Good. And then place your hands behind your back, and we're just going to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Make this nice and wide. Feeling really good on the hips. Nice. Today's class is all about feeling good, having that feel-good stretch and movement, along with a little bit of strengthening. So let's drop ourselves all the way down to the mat, one vertebra at a time, and then reaching your arms up over your head, and then giving yourself a head to toe stretch. Deep breath in and out. And then bringing the right knee in towards your chest. For a wind release pose, flexing your feet. Shoulders are on the mat. Good. And then extending your left leg. So extend your left leg. You can have a little bend in your knee if you want to. We're trying to keep the leg that's on the mat fully on the mat. So right leg is pressed in towards the mat. You're just gently pulling your left leg in towards your body. Hold. Good. And then bending the left knee, squeeze it in, and switch sides. So now right knee comes in towards your chest, flexing both feet. And then extending the right leg up to the sky, grabbing just anywhere where you can. If you're just grabbing onto your knees, that's fine, or your knee. And then just pulling your leg in. Good. Bending the left knee and bringing both knees in to your chest for a nice squeeze and a hug. Maybe taking a minute too to pull your head in as well. Good, and then bringing your feet up to the ceiling for waterfall. I always like to bring my arms up too, why not? And then just do a little movement with your wrists and your ankles. Good, let's go into our needle pose, or thread the needle. Rolling your shoulders back, you're going to take your right ankle, put it over your left knee. And then both of your hands are going to go under or behind your left knee, and then lifting your left foot off of the mat, pulling your leg in towards your body. And the opposite knee, your right knee, is away from you. So you're feeling this really nice stretch right here on your lower thighs. Good, really good hip flexor stretch. Good one to do after like a long hike or a long walk. Good, lower your left foot to the mat and just do a little switch. Left ankle to right knee, picking up the right foot and bringing the right knee in towards your chest. I sometimes like to take the opposite hand too and push my knee away from me. Just start to slow down your breathing here. So we get ready to close our practice. Enjoying these nice stretches. Definitely a feel-good class today. Good, placing both feet onto the mat. Let's come up into a quick bridge. Another good one for hips. Once we're bending one way, we want to bend the other way. So lifting your hips high. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Maybe bring your arms over your head as well. Good, and then lower down. One more before our Shavasana. Lower both knees over towards the right side for a twist. So deep breath in and out. Twisting at the waist. Good, and then both knees go up to center. You might have to shift your hips a little bit so they're aligned with your spine, and then let both knees fall over to the left side. Arms go out. Good, and then bringing both knees up and then relaxing into your Shavasana, getting comfortable any way you'd like. Taking a couple moments to yourself, just enjoying the silence if you're lucky and fortunate enough to have it. You can bring your hands onto your heart, giving your heart lots of love and listening to it. Just take those deep breaths in and out. Now that you're in this calm state, see what comes to you. Good, and now bring your right arm all the way up over your head, or left arm, and rolling yourself over to your fetal position. Taking a moment here, maybe to reflect on what came up during either the practice or your Shavasana. And then slowly making your way up to a comfortable seated position where we get to give thanks and gratitude to ourselves and our beautiful, healthy body. And just remembering that we need to listen to our bodies, and that if we are feeling some sort of physical pain, if we're feeling some sort of stress or tension, that we can always get in tune with our body first. This will help calm the mind. So using breath work and meditation and these types of movements can really help bring clarity to your thoughts and your feelings and emotions and help us with our everyday life. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take this beautiful positive energy and share it with all those that you love. Namaste.